You know how after a few years of marriage, you don't quite feel that love, that commitment, that support as much as you once did. You secretly kind of hope that your marriage will survive on autopilot just while you're making sense of life. And life is busy. It's the kids, it's your career, it's money, it's bills, it's so many things that need to happen. If you're watching this video, I know that your marriage is important to you. I know that your marriage matters and that you want to leave a legacy to your kids of good, strong family values. It was exactly the same with John and Amy. When we first got to meet them, their marriage was on autopilot, like many of their friends. But then one day, very good friends of them announced they were going to get a divorce. And it was a massive shock. Apparently, they were too different. They fell out of love. He met someone and she was feeling unfulfilled, but they were going to get a divorce and the kids suffered the consequences. And John and Amy knew that working at their marriage was important, but they didn't feel it was that urgent. And if you look at the stats, the odds are stacked against us. Almost 50% of first marriages fail, and close to 67% of second marriages fail. It means that in the US, 50% of all kids will see their parents divorce in their lifetime. And that leaves a huge question mark with what we're leaving for the next generation. It means that every second couple you meet will get a divorce. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we get it right? How do we get to the safe side? How do we get to the 55% first marriages that actually make it? John and Amy did. They got to do the e-course that Marriage Capsule provides. And in this video, I want to share with you some of the thoughts that we have got with the Marriage Capsule e-course program. My name is Liesl van der Merwe. I am married to Nico for almost 24 years. We've got two beautiful boys. They're all grown up, Nico and Willem. And then we've got a Dutchman called Crunchy. I've been married to Nico, the love of my life, for such a long time. But in our marriage, I've seen many ups and downs. And today I know that that is one of the best things in my life. And in the last 12 years, I've worked extensively in this marriage industry. I've published a magazine in our country. We live in South Africa. We host Marriage Week in our country. We've built a love bridge for love locks. We hosted 5 cruises for couples. We've got seminars. We had so many things that we actually did during these 12 years. But I've seen in 12 years that many couples make it and others don't. And I was just asking the question, what is the difference? What really make a marriage work? And we got to sit down and we really did the work. We worked through all our articles, everything we published. We talked to experts. We wanted to really get to the root of marriage, what makes it work. And we came down to 7 levels and we packed this in the e-course program. And I'll tell you about how to get to the e-course program. But for this video, I want to share with you these 7 thoughts, these 7 levels, to give you value for the time that you're spending watching this video. Even if you don't buy it, even if you don't get the e-course, get the tips now and start making your marriage better. The very first level that we've got and that we identified was the why level. Really getting to the vision of your marriage, really getting behind expectations of marriage. Because this is so true. If you find your why, you can get through so many things. If you really can close your eyes and see a vision of what you think your marriage could look like. Can you see it? How does it feel to have that marriage that you dreamed of? And to know that that is really possible. To leave a legacy to your kids is really strong. Strong family values. A healthy environment where they can grow up. And a big part of that is sorting out your expectations of one another. Now, in the course, we have got an expectation manager with 60 questions. And this you can do in the course itself. But even today, you can just look at some of your expectations. What are your expectations of Christmas, of holidays, of sex in your marriage? How many times a week? What is the expectation around tithing at church? What is the expectation around what your physical body should look like? How much are you going to spend on gym? How much money is needed? Are we going to get daycare? Aren't we? There's so many questions that if you get to talk about it and sort it out and get on the same page, the level of your frustrations in your marriage will go down dramatically. So sorting out your expectations today is so important. And in the Marriage Capsule course, we take you through these 60 questions. We email you the summary afterwards to tell you, okay, maybe in 5 years' time, we want to re-evaluate this and see, is this still valid? Nico and I did the exercise again 2 weeks ago, and we had so much fun. We were sitting on the couch, and I was sitting with my laptop, and I said to him, let's do it again. And we were sitting with a glass of wine and just talk through it. And our lives has changed so much after so many years of marriage. And we talk about things that as in the beginning of our marriage different to what it is now. But we sorted out the expectation. And once we were finished, we're in such a better place, and we got to grips with each other and what we can expect. The second level of Marriage Capsule, the second big thing in your life that you've got to sort out, is understanding your own temperament, your own personality style, and understanding your husband or your wife's temperament. Why this is important, this is how you function. Now what we have done is we have put together a temperament test called the Lofts test. You're either a lake, an ocean, a fountain, or a snow. So if I say to you, I'm married to a lake, I'm a lake kind of personality, and I'm a fountain, you know kind of what that looks like. A fountain is always energetic, it just bursts and there's life, and that's the life of the party. But the lake person is just such a calm person. It's a place where you just find peace and quiet. Or I could say I'm a snow personality, a snow temperament. A snow is an emotional introvert person. Detail is so important to them. Information is so important to them. So they're a detailed kind of person. They're the most prone to genius. And many artists has got a snow temperament. And then you could also be married to an ocean. Now an ocean is that leader, that fierce, bold person, the red personality, the person that wants to change the world. They need, for example, a lot less information to buy a car. They would just look at 3 brands and they would decide this one is white, this is what I want. Now if you marry that person to a snow temperament, the snow temperament wants to look at least 10 cars before they decide to spend their money. And these different temperaments just give you so much freedom. Once you understand yourself and make sense of who you are, make sense of your own strengths and weaknesses, and you understand the same with your partner, then you start to work together as a team. You accept one another for who you are, and you start doing life together as a team. If I am, for example, an extrovert and my husband is an introvert, when we get to a party, he doesn't have to talk much. I'll be there doing the talking, and he can have the quiet conversations, the one-on-one with somebody special in the room. But that's how it works, and if you know your temperament, it just makes such a big difference. So if you don't do the e-course, still go online and find something where you can test your personality, test your temperament, and see who you are. Just get behind that. With Lofts, we do that, as we tell you exactly what it looks like to be married to a snow, to be married to an ocean, to be married to a lake or to a fountain, and what you can do for your partner and what your partner can do for you. We also talk through various questions. We've got an ebook that we give with the Lofts course, and it tells you practical questions in your marriage and how to solve that, just to understand that communication is built on temperaments, it's built on who we are. So that's so important to understand. And then level 3 and 4, they go together. So this level 3 is for the wife to understand what her husband needs the most. And then level number 4 is for the man to understand what his wife needs the most. Now this is extremely important because this is how we build, this is how God made us. There's one thing that a man needs above all else. And if this is present in his life, if he feels this with his wife, everything just changes. He becomes the man he was supposed to be. So a man needs respect more than anything else. If you can find the way to respect your husband, if you can make him your superhero again, if you understand what makes him tick in terms of respect, if you understand that he needs to make the final decision, not even really caring what the decision is, but that he wants to take the responsibility, your marriage will change. And then the same for the ladies. A lady, a woman above all, needs love. She needs to be loved and protected in love. A woman wants to be heard. She doesn't want to be fixed. She just wants to be loved. And if you're a husband and you're seeing this and you're hearing this, just start today just loving your wife more than you even think is possible. And you will see her becoming the woman that you once married, the woman of your dreams. And in the e-course that we do, we take these two things, the respect and the love, and we help you work through it. We help you understand and ask your husband the right questions in terms of respect. And for the man, we need him to understand for a woman, how do you show love? How do you give love? We learn about the crazy cycle. The crazy cycle is that a man needs respect, a woman needs love, but before he starts giving love, he's waiting for respect from her. And without love, she's not giving the respect. But without respect, he's not giving the love. And you can see this couple going around in a crazy circle, waiting for each other. And we help you break that crazy cycle. So for today, just know that your wife needs love and your husband needs respect. And then as we journey through level 3 and 4, we get to level 5, which has to be communication. Communication, you know, that is what a relationship is made of. That's the oxygen of a relationship. And if it goes wrong, it leads to misunderstanding, to anxiety, to stress, to not a good day at all. So with Marriage Capsule, we know that communication is important. We help you build a safe space communication capsule that you can use to talk through any difficult issues. If you have been struggling to talk about money forever, or trust, or jealousy, whatever's really struggling in your relationship, you can use this. But for free, a tip that you can use today is to understand that each person has got an opinion, and that is okay. And you don't always have to agree. But when you want to talk through something, take turns. So what we typically do is we've got a listen chair and a talk chair. You can actually do it physically. Have two chairs, and one sits in the listen chair and one sits in the talk chair. When you're in the talking chair, the other person can only ask questions. So you state your opinion, and this person, like a journalist, just asks questions. You don't comment, you don't try and understand, you just keep on asking questions for 10 minutes. And then you swap. You do the same for the other person. Because then you get to hear your partner's heart on the matter. And in the end, you can still agree to disagree, or you can get closer to a point where you get it. You understand where you're at, and you know what the next step is. So remember that each person has got the right to an opinion. And that when you want to get to understand your partner's opinion, ask questions, ask 5 questions before you give any comment, and just get to the bottom of it. Level number 6 is about sex, because good sex is a good idea. Kevin Bacon once said that a good partnership needs to keep the fights clean and the sex dirty. And now with Marriage Capsule, we want to get the intimacy back into the bedroom. This is a big part of marriage, and if this goes wrong, unfortunately, a lot of the things go wrong. This is unique. This is a God-given thing in your marriage, is that intimacy with your wife and with your husband could be and should be so special. So we talk about that spark in your marriage, and we help you get good habits. In this level, we talk to sexologists, and we talk about common sexual problems, because we have got to know about things like ED. We have got to know about things that really affect our libido. So we need to understand the health part of sex. We also need to understand how orgasms work and how you can get them more often. So without revealing too much, I just want to leave you with the thought that to have good sex in your marriage should be a priority. And it should be something that you work at, and it should be something that you talk about. So with your partner today, I want to encourage you to just start up a conversation about intimacy and how important that is in your marriage. And then the last level of the Marriage Capsule course, we talk about a plan, good habits, a prayer plan, something that you need, a system to get you going. Having good habits in your relationship is very important. Having a regular date night is very important. Having systems to make your habits work is very important, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And here's something that you can do today, is to start thinking of 2 good habits that you can have in your everyday life. For example, if your husband gets home, or if your wife gets home, is do a 6-second kiss. Now what this is it's just holding a kiss for 6 seconds. It is amazing about this. It does feel weird in the beginning, but after about second 4 or 5, I find that I really connect with Nico, and I'm like really happy to see him. It's like the world just gets quiet for 6 seconds, and just the two of us. So a 6-second kiss is such a good idea. What you can also do is find a hobby together, something to do every day. We walk our dog, and this 20 minutes away from screen time, away from the kids, just gives us time to reconnect to one another. So level 7 is all about this, all about good habits, a good plan for your marriage, a prayer plan, something that you can do together. Marriage Capsule is built as an e-course. It's something you can do in the privacy of your own home. It's something you can do in your own time. And it's something you should do. When we think about marriage, we know it's hard work. John and Amy did the same. Remember, I talked about them thinking it's important but not urgent. And the urgency for them came alive when they saw the consequences, the pain of divorce. So this e-course is available immediately, and you can download it and buy it, and you've got lifetime access to it. But what is important is to understand that you've got to do something for your marriage every year. If you do Marriage Capsule this year, you've got to do a book next year, you've got to go to camp the year after that. You've got to keep on investing in your marriage. The couples that get to be that 55% but happily married are the people that invest. Mel Robbins says it very nicely. She says that you can have everything you want in life, but you've got to know you might not always feel like it. So the areas in your life where you're successful, you're doing the work. So if you're fit, you're doing the work. But know that the areas where you're not succeeding, you're not doing the work. And you might not feel like it, and that's okay. Do it anyway. With the Marriage Capsule course, in the end, when you reach the final level, you will be entered into the International Marriage Hall of Fame. And you will have a certificate that you can frame and put up and just keep as a reminder to know that your marriage really matters. If you're wondering, yes, we have a guarantee. So we have a 14-day money-back guarantee. It is important that when you spend your money, that you are happy with your purchase. Marriage Capsule will cost you $149. With the e-course you get the e-course book. You will also get a bonus e-book on lofts, helping you talk through relationship questions with temperaments. You will get an e-book on tough questions on marriage that we have got experts' answers on for you to help you, something that you would relate to. You will also be invited to a private Facebook group where we have got a marriage mentor and counselor called Peter Edgar. Now, Peter has been in the industry for more than 30 years. He is magnificent and brilliant, and he's got such a kind heart, and he just want to help couples. So you can email Peter a question. You can, in the Facebook group, just ask Peter a question. You will get weekly emails just to encourage you to get through this journey and to do the work and to get to your marriage to a place where you feel happy, where you wake up in the mornings feeling fulfilled and just smile because the person that's next to you is the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life. So the money back guarantee is there, and to put the $149 a little bit into perspective, a counselor will cost you between $75 and $250 per hour. So you're going to need a few sessions to get to a reconnecting place. Other expert e-courses that we've seen will cost up to $300. So the $149 is really a good price. And I just want to encourage you to know that we take it seriously and to know that the money that we're taking from you is something that we see as an investment in your marriage. And we want you to see the benefits and really get the value out of it. And you don't have any risk because the 14-day money back guarantee is there. If this is not for you, we'll just straight give you your money back, no questions asked. If, like John and Amy, you want to get to a good place, you want to be like John, just dancing away, you want to be like Amy, just feeling that love, that commitment, just falling back in love with your marriage, then I want to encourage you to look at the course. Click the button below. Look at everything that it's got to offer. See if it can work for you. Take the chance. Make a positive move for your marriage. Stand up for what you believe in. I want to encourage you to get off autopilot, to make a decision for your marriage. Your marriage matters. There doesn't have to be anything wrong for you to have an even better one. And you can do it. It will work for you. You'll see when you get to the other side. So click the button below and I'll see you on the inside. I can't wait to start my journey with you.